Now you might wonder, why am I starting this car review in a car wash? Well, because I think that this Camaro ZL1 deserves to be looking its best, because it is a stunning car. So what have we got here with this Camaro ZL1? Well, we've got all the familiar territory we explored with my Camaro 2SS review, but quite a bit more. The ZL1 is $175,990 in New Zealand. That's $68,000 more than a 2SS Camaro. So you'd think you're getting a lot more Camaro for your money. And you'd be right, because it is a hell of a lot more Camaro. It's way more powerful. The 2SS is putting out, I think, 339 kilowatts. This, 477 kilowatts. Maximum torque out of the ZL1's LT4 engine, 881 Newton meters. The car is serviced by 11 heat exchangers. It's all very well spec'd for track days, frankly. Whoa. 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 There we go. That's what happens with the ZL1. Tyres are cold, roads are sort of damp, and I've had too much coffee. The dominant aspect of this car is its performance. At pretty much any speed, look, we're doing 90 k's an hour now. We're in tour mode, which is the kind of the default soft setting, if you like. And if I just wheel spin it there, yeah, wheel spin it there. You have to be ready for it. It is quite easy to catch if it starts to step sideways. It's got an electronic limited slip diff and stability control, and I've got traction control turned on. I'm not going to experiment with traction control turned off on the public roads. You have the choice of a 6-speed manual and save yourself $2,000, so that would cost you $173,990, or the automatic, and it's the 10-speed automatic that we've got. This is the transmission that was co-developed with Ford and is actually shared with the Mustang. It weighs 1,807 kg, so she's no lightweight. But even with that in mind, in the States, I've seen figures like 3.6, 3.8 seconds, you know, sub 4 second to 100 Ks. Now, it does have an inbuilt 0 to 100k timer on the dashboard. I use that same feature on the 2SS in the dry in summer and managed to clock itself as a 4.4 second car. I have great doubts that this vehicle will be able to beat that time, or maybe even get close to it, because it's just so hard to launch. You just can't get it to hook up. Even 80 to 100 Ks is hard yakka to keep it hooked up. So starting from scratch, look, it might look spectacular with lots of spinning tyres and things like that, but that's not really what I'm into. Really, it's not. In my week with the ZL1, I've used it as I needed to use any other car. I've really got to know the car quite well, I think. I've done about 600 Ks in it, which is quite a lot for one of my road tests. But in all of that driving, the Camaro has been constantly entertaining. It's so brutal and it's so edgy. I find that the first thing I do when I know I need to overtake somebody or accelerate quickly, the first thing I do, check the surface of the road. Is it going to be grippy enough? Because these tyres just are so easily overwhelmed by the power of this car. I've found it very hard to keep the Camaro ZL1 stuck to New Zealand. The beauty of it is is that the vehicle's chassis is so well sorted that even though I've been in situations where, yes, I've had wheel spin when I wasn't necessarily expecting it or wanting it, the car's never felt like it's been out of control. Naturally, the power going to the rear wheels makes it easy to steer from the throttle pedal, like there. But even if you're not really gunning it out of corners, the car's got a very settled character to it. It feels extremely well planted. You've got those massive staggered 20-inch wheels holding you on the ground, and you really feel that the car is supremely committed to the surface it's driving on, unless it's wet, of course, in which case its commitment starts to wander off a little bit and do other things. So I'm going to go into sport mode, and I'm going to manually select gears, and I'm going to take it very carefully. The car's very flat in corners. It's just a delight, really. You can actually have a lot of fun even holding it back a bit like I am now, because it's just so eager to run. You've just got to keep, holding it back, holding it back, holding it back. Yeah, it's really impressive, really impressive. But I'm just going to go a little bit gingerly around here because I do not want to scratch this $176,000 Camaro. It's got Recaro seats. They've got this nice microfiber finish on them that matches the Alcantara microfiber finish on the steering wheel and on the door cards. The seats are heated and cooled. They're very comfortable. I did about 400 plus Ks yesterday in the vehicle. Yeah, it's a very comfortable seat to spend time in. The steering wheel is very vertical. It sits right there in front of you. The whole thing is purpose-built for sports driving. The wheels feel like they're just behind your shoulder, so you do get a lot of tyre roar, particularly from those big 305 width tyres coming up into this cabin, which is quite small in terms of air volume. HSV is doing an amazing job of converting this car to right-hand drive, and you would never know it wasn't originally right-hand drive, except for two things. The blinker still ticks over in the passenger side, who cares, and the driver's door mirror is a long way out on its adjustment within the housing, because it was originally directioned to be facing more over to this side of the car, for the driver sitting on the left. But apart from that, and the fact that you can't see which gear you're in because the selector is blocking the display, you'd never know. And frankly, those things are completely irrelevant. There's all sorts of reasons you could want this car, but I think the main reason you'd want it is because it's just so much. The styling is extreme, the performance is extreme, the sound is extreme, the view out from inside is extreme. There's a few things that aren't extreme. I mean, yeah, there's plastics, hard plastics in a lot of places where you think for $175,000 you might get leather. But to critique the car with those assuming much priority is really to miss the point. This car is all about performance. And yeah, it's just a generally cool car to walk up to, hop in the morning, hit the button, hit that first beautiful clearing of the throat, cold start. Don't look to it for storage or fancy materials, because you won't find them. If you're looking for that sort of thing, then you're in the wrong showroom, frankly. But if you're looking for a car that delivers edge of the seat excitement when you want it, this car should definitely be at the top of your shopping list. It's not something to be scared of. I want to stress that. It's not a car that you have to be frightened of. It's a car that you have to respect. And if you respect it, it'll show you a really good time.